Being confident on camera is the #1 skill that you need to master if you want to grow and connect with your audience. Since grade school, we've been taught that sitting up straight, opening up your chest, and generally taking up a little bit more space is going to help you get what you want. I don't need to be the one to tell you that wiggling your hands around is a little bit of a good thing. I'm Latino, so that kind of comes naturally for me. But knowing this, so many of us still struggle with confidence on camera. And well, it starts with getting into that mind space, or as the pros call it, prepping your energy. I know, I kind of a little bit when I hear that too. I'm not suggesting that everyone should be aligning their chakras or ingesting toad venom from Peru. I am suggesting, however, that before you click record, try smiling, all right? And try getting excited about whatever it is you're about to share next. What you want to do more than anything is just prep yourself to be in a good mood before you click record, because that energy is going to transfer on camera. If you're having a bad day and things aren't really going your way, if you hit record on that camera, you're gonna look like a mess. A shoveled mess at that nobody wants to play around with. However, if you're in a good mood, you got some stuff done, you're smiling, doing jumping jacks maybe, karate chop your grandma, anything to get those endorphins pumping, it's gonna translate a lot better, and your audience would rather you be sweaty and confident than not sweaty and awkward. Hopefully that doesn't really involve you karate chopping your grandma, but you get the point. But unfortunately, just figuring out what gets your mind in the right place won't then magically make you confident. To do that, you've gotta work on the relationship that you have with the lens in front of you. There's a famous psychological trick out there called act as if. It's pretty simple, but instead of talking to the camera, you know, this metallic piece of technology that is super cold and records your every micro expression, act as if you're talking to a friend or a partner, someone that you feel comfortable or loose around. Now, that is easier for me because all of my friends are imaginary and they live rent-free in my head, but it's changed the lives of so many other people on camera, from podcast hosts to YouTubers. And if you find it difficult to mildly hallucinate your friends or loved ones, then just stick a photo of them behind the camera. It works for me. Another great trick is to treat the video like it's a draft. We'll get a little bit more into detail about scripting for confidence later, but you have to understand that you don't have to be perfect and do it all in one take. I never do that. I mean, I'm the best, but I'm not that good. And none of us really are. It also doesn't make it friendly, this whole thing. You watching what I'm saying, me figuring in real time how I'm gonna say it, right? You wanna spitball a little bit, crack some jokes here and there, have an actual conversation with the camera, and then watch. Your authentic personality is then gonna explode on camera, and it's gonna be awesome because 80% of confidence is comfort. So don't pretend to be someone that you're not. Also, don't forget that people are watching your podcasts or your videos for you and your opinion, and not your opinion dressed up as someone else's opinion. So have some fun out there, explore a little bit, and then you'll be able to find your voice on camera, and it'll be easier to stick with that. But sadly, building confidence can't just be built off of confident body language and being best buds with the camera, because eventually you're gonna have to actually say something useful. If confidence is 80% comfort, then the other 20% is certainty. Sure, you can chit chat with the camera, but true confidence is in knowing something. Now, if you're one of those who can just wing a 7-minute video review on a blender or talk about foreign policy on a 60-minute podcast with full confidence, good for you. Here's your cookie. Say hi to the other psychopaths for me, okay? But for the rest of us normies, it's time to hit the books. No one wants to look like a fool. And if you're thinking you might be looking like a fool, well, then you can wave goodbye to that newfound camera confidence. So study your topic, especially if you don't have a script. Now, you don't need to have an encyclopedic knowledge of your subject, but what you want to have is enough to act as a solid foundation for both you and your confidence and the video. And if you have guests on your podcast or video, then you're screwed. Oh, you're screwed until we publish our next video dedicated to preparing for your guests. So subscribe so you don't miss that one. Next up is learning to be confident while reading off of a script. Now, this can be a tricky one. It took me a lot of time to prepare for this, but the problem for a lot of creators when they're getting started is that they end up looking like a monotone zombie with extreme caffeine deficit when reading off of a teleprompter. It's like the Charlie Brown thing, because their brain is having a hard time
reading and speaking aloud and sounding authentic and genuine.
And while we've got the answer to the teleprompter problem, you need to focus on how to write your script. So many creators make the mistake of writing a script that doesn't match their natural speaking cadence and rhythm. And when that all comes together nicely, it's perfect. But when you're just starting out and you're having to figure out one over the other, you're kind of building up an awkward, stilted mess. Doesn't look good, you look awkward, and you sound awkward too. To get around this, read your script aloud as you write it. And if it sounds like you, keep it. If it doesn't, scrap it. You can even do a rough draft based off of your voice memos. I've seen a lot of cool tech where it does voice to text, where you can then record it, save it, and then script it right there. Copy that voice memo, put it in your notes, and there's your rough draft. But what matters the most is getting your ideas out there, okay? Put them on paper, phone, whatever it is in the first place. And in terms of teleprompter, there is no better tool than Podcastle, with its clear, easy to read UI and host of many other features. But you already knew that because you're recording, editing, and already hosting on Podcastle, right? Right? Now for the hardest part, desensitization. Let me say that word correctly. Now for the hardest part, desensitization. Even if you have followed all the tips and tricks in this video, you still might be a little nervous, and that's okay. Because it's time for the most generic advice of it all, practice.
But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice?
If you expose yourself to that same stimuli again and again and again, it won't be so scary. Hey, it has worked for me with soft serve ice cream, so it can work for you with your camera shyness. You can even make mock videos where you film yourself and just slowly build up your comfort level. Even if these videos are never to be seen in the light of day. That's okay, it's practice.
Practice.
At the end of the day, it'll be like second nature when you do this over and over again, okay? Just like a baby, you gotta crawl before you walk, and try not to shit your pants too much. But none of this is possible without the help of Podcastle. Podcastle gives you all the tools you need to record, edit, and publish for your next masterpiece, reducing all of that hassle and stress, saving your mental energy so you can express yourself freely. And you can use that beautiful teleprompter and one of those cool one-click AI enhancements with the 50% off promo code linked down in the description below. Hopefully, I have helped you relax and be more comfortable on camera, and I will confidently see you in the next one.